So which of these shonen heroes has had the most character development? Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about 6 different characters from the 6 different series that I review, and the character development that they got, and which ones I think got the most character development. Now, if you haven't seen all 6, then obviously you can't name them all. If you've even seen 2 of these series, then you can say which character you believe is the, I guess, most developed out of the 2 of them, or whatever, if you've seen all of them, and whatnot. Let me know which ones do you think are the most developed. Now, when I say character development, I don't necessarily mean BAM! BAM! I'm more so meaning how much has the character developed, how much has he grown personality wise, how have his travels and his journey changed him and made him grow as a person and whatnot. So I'm gonna start off with Luffy. Luffy, in my opinion, he's one of the heroes that actually came pre-packaged as a developed character. In my opinion, he did get some development throughout the series, but he already came pre-packaged as for what his goal needs, and that's a leader and somebody that just wants to have an incredible journey and adventure. Luffy, he came ready for everything. That was the thing about it. From the start of One Piece, he was ready for everything that came his way, and Luffy definitely, in my opinion, came the most prepared out of all the heroes, because he came ready to fight, ready to become the king, and he came with the strength to back it up as well. But he did learn a couple different things. In my opinion, he definitely became a lot more protective of his friends, his Nakama and whatnot, throughout his journeys, especially after some of the stuff that happened to him, like when the pacifistas knocked him away. You know, to me, he's just more protective of his friends and whatnot. I also think that he's become a better leader as well, learning different things from his crewmates themselves, like when he went up against Usopp, because Usopp wasn't listening, he understood that he can't baby them, he can't just let them do whatever they want, because then they're not going to respect him, and even some crewmates will leave. So Luffy definitely got some character development, but I feel as though he came pre-packaged with a lot of development, and just, you know, as a great character himself. He didn't really necessarily need too much. Of course, there's always a need for character development just so they could grow and change and thrive, but I feel as though Luffy came with it, like, pretty much all intact. Now, Ichigo from Bleach, he's definitely somebody that, in my opinion, has up and down battle as far as his character development goes. From the beginning to the end of Soul Society, Ichigo had this massive character development. He became a hero. He became everything that you would need in a shonen hero. But the thing about it is, Kubo does a lot of the times a reset, and from the arc after that, like, he goes back into, you know, pretty much not fighting skills necessarily, but personality-wise and leadership-wise, he just reverts back to the original Ichigo, and that's one of the things that probably is his downfall, is that he doesn't necessarily always stay stable with the character development he previously had, and the person who he is, the leadership, the thriving drive. Like, you know, a lot of times he's always questioning, what is my purpose, why am I fighting, you know, and at this level in the game, towards the end of the series, he should already have some of that down packed. So I definitely say that as far as that goes, Ichigo's character development is a little wonky. It's always, he will grow and become the greatest character, like at the end of Soul Society, like he is what you need. But then there'll be a reset, and that's probably just Kubo's writing, the way he likes to do things. But I still would say that Ichigo, his character development is really up and downhill for me personally. I think that his character development, when it's good, but when it gets reset, it's kind of like a little bit of a waste in a way, but it always comes back. So I guess you gotta, in that aspect, understand that, you know, Ichigo, his character development is there, it's just not always there. Let's go with Natsu from Fairy Tail. Now, I was thinking about whether I should either say Natsu or Lucy, because in my opinion, Natsu is almost the exact same character he was from the beginning of the series, even up until the current manga after the time skip, because Natsu, he was just always just a fighter. He had passion. He always, you know, I guess if anything developed with him is that more so he wants to protect his friends, because, like, from the beginning until the end, whenever his friends are in trouble, he even gets more angrier because he just really wants to protect his friends. So in that aspect, Natsu probably developed a little bit there, but for the most part, Natsu is pretty much the same person. He really hasn't had the development that he probably needs, I guess, but in the same time, this series doesn't really require too much, because it's just a fun series. They go on their journeys. Yes, they got goals. Natsu wants to find Igneel and whatnot, but he doesn't have this big goal of, like, I want to be the #1 wizard in all of Fior. So he doesn't necessarily need those accolades and go through the trials and tribulations that some of the other main protagonists, like, you know, a Naruto or a Luffy, needs to go through in order to get to his goal, because his main goal is just to find, you know, his quote-unquote dad. So I was thinking of either him and Lucy. Lucy, in my opinion, is the main character overall of Fairy Tail, and I believe so, she just is. And in that aspect, I would say Lucy's character development is pretty decent. Fighting-wise, her skills always are mismatched, and she never really gets the respect I feel she deserves. But character development wise, she definitely goes from kind of a scaredy cat, a little bit of a novice, and towards the time skip part, she's already like a little bit more ready. She's ready to protect her friends, ready to fight, ready to throw down. So I definitely say if I had to choose a main character that developed the most between Natsu and Lucy, it would definitely be Lucy. Not only did she develop in some interesting areas, she also developed a little bit as a person, and overall just her motives and, you know, her drive necessarily. It just really increased a lot more during the time skip. She wants to protect people more. You know, losing her father definitely built her up as well, as like, can't take things for granted. You got to protect the people you love. So I'd say Lucy definitely evolved a lot more than Natsu from the beginning to where we at now. Going from Hunter x Hunter is very similar in my opinion to Luffy, because he came equipped as a character that is already probably going to be who he is up until towards the end of the series. Now, from where I'm at right now after the tournament, Gon, in my opinion, he's changed a little bit, but I haven't seen too much character development, so I definitely got to see more. But from what I've seen, I already could see him a little bit changing. He's becoming more really good hunter. He's learning more. He's learning to be more strategic. He's learning more to just, you know, have a good time at the same time. So I definitely say Gon, he's traveled a bit, but he still has a long way to go from where I'm at currently. So I definitely say Gon had some character development, but I just got to see more before I can make a sound judgment on how much he's really had. Now, the two main characters that, in my opinion, developed the most between the beginning up until where they're at now is Naruto from, of course, Naruto, and Tsuna from Katekyo Hitman Reborn. These two characters changed dramatically from when they started to where they're at now. Naruto, he was a loudmouth punk. You know, it was hilarious. He was joking. He always had the mouth, but he didn't necessarily have the power to back it up because, you know, in the start of the series, he wasn't the strongest ninja. He wasn't the most competent. But where we're at now, he's a leader. He saved the village. He accomplished so many goals. And his character, he's not necessarily the cocky punk anymore. Yeah, there's still some setbacks here and there. He's not the perfect character because at the end of the day, he will always be Naruto. Because, see, people mistake that character development means the character is going to change. And that's not true. They will change in certain aspects, but the personality is supposed to still stay intact. And Naruto is still the Joker, you know, kind of guy, funny, not the brightest in the box, but still, like, he knows what must be done. And he's become a leader. He's become a beast, I guess, in best way to put it with him. He just went from this funny kid to he's pretty awesome, and like he really developed a lot. He has this ability now to make friends. Before, he was more so of an outcast. He developed just a lot. All the trials and tribulations that he went through really guided him to where he is now, and Naruto has developed definitely one of the best because he went from low tier, you know, he didn't start off in the game with all this power. He didn't start off with all these friends. He didn't start off with anything. And he slowly built his way up with his character development, you know, going through everything he went through, building relationships, being able to make friends now. He definitely developed a lot. And Tsuna from Katekyo Hitman Reborn is one of the greatest character developments I've seen in a while. Because in the beginning of the series, the thing about it is between Tsuna and Naruto is that Naruto still had a little bit of backbone in the beginning. And even though he developed quite a bit, he didn't necessarily start off that bad compared to Tsuna from Hitman Reborn. Tsuna from Hitman Reborn started off as the biggest chicken, the biggest punk, scared of everything. And throughout the story, he just developed into what he needs to be because he needs to be the boss. He needs to lead these people, and he definitely becomes that towards the end of the series. He becomes, in my opinion, where we're at now, a boss. He's like leading people. He's not scared. He's even defying his teacher, Reborn. He's just really changed dramatically. He's grown so much. This series, this is one of the reasons why I recommend it, Reborn, is because the character, the main character, has developed dramatically from the scared little punk to just this amazing boss, and he's not scared. He's standing up for what he believes in now currently, and he's just really epic. Of course, there's still going to be some of that funniness because it is comedy in a way that, you know, he's scared and stuff, and he's not going to be quite there yet until we ultimately see him become the boss. But nonetheless, I say Tsuna from Katekyo Hitman Reborn changed dramatically because he had such a distance to go between all the other heroes. Naruto definitely was up there, but Tsuna just had so much more of a distance to go because he was just worthless as a character from the beginning. He was just worthless. He had the potential, but he didn't use it at all up until, you know, the story grows and progresses and he becomes who he is, and now he's almost fit to become the Vongola boss, and Naruto's definitely fit to become Hokage. All he needs is a little bit more of that growing up and, you know, being able to, I guess, command people because he already got the respect. He just, you know, needs a little bit more of the smarts, I guess you could say. But either way, all these characters, I love them. I review them weekly for a reason. So let me know which one of these do you think developed the most. You know, again, if you only seen 2, you've seen 3, 4, whatever, just let me know which character you think had the most character development. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for all these epic characters because they definitely deserve it. And as always, people, have an awesome day. Development for the win.